Hello and welcome back. If you missed last week's video, this is my husband Ben.
And my name is Bree.
This summer we decided to quit our jobs as teachers and move out of our apartment to travel full time. Our first stop on this journey was to Scotland, where we decided to hike the West Highland Way. On the first day we arrived, we were supposed to hike from Miiiight to Dryman, but we just flew overnight for 7 hours and decided to take a cab instead. Yesterday, we successfully completed our first hike from Dryman to Balmaha, crossing Connick Hill. Today, we are supposed to hike from Balmaha to Rarardanan, which is this short leg here. Seems simple enough, right? We thought so too, until we realized we were actually in way over our heads to the point where we were thinking about completely canceling the whole rest of the hiking trip. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Picking up where we left off yesterday, we slept at a campground last night, our first of many for this trip. I didn't sleep well, but I usually don't sleep well my first few nights in a tent. It's okay though, I'm still so excited for the day because I'm just thrilled that I'm in Scotland. After I got ready, we packed up all of our stuff, and we have our big backpacks, and then the green thing is our transfer bag. A lot of through hikes have companies that offer transfer services, so we paid €80 to have our green big bag picked up and dropped off daily. Everything we didn't need until that night is in that green bag, and in our packs we just carry our day items that we need and our sleeping bags because they were too big to fit in the green bag. Some things we brought were water, of course, extra layers. I like to pack some toiletries, snacks, So we dropped that big bag off and got started with our hike that we thought was going to be so easy, but boy were we deceived. But before we get into that, I wanted to talk about the types of accommodations available on the West Highland Way. With the West Highland Way and with many other through hikes, there are typically 3 options to choose from. There's an inn or a B&B like what we stayed at on the first night in Dryman. There's also paid campsites. While at first it may not seem like a good value because you're paying anywhere from 15 to 30 pounds per person for essentially some grass, what you're really paying for is the facility access. At a minimum, they should have a bathroom with toilets, sinks, and showers, which is the biggest draw, but most also have kitchens, charging stations, drying rooms, hangout areas, and occasionally they have really nice amenities like washer dryers or even a restaurant. So for the price, you'll get all the conveniences of a hotel, which of course the trade-off is that you're sleeping in a tent. The next option is wild camping, which is completely free, but it's wild. At best, you'll have a hole in the ground for a bathroom. The only water you have, the only food or supplies or anything you're carrying in yourself. Some countries are actually very strict with where you're allowed to wild camp. Some ban it completely to protect their outdoor space. So just make sure you're doing your research before you head off. In Scotland, it's widely available, but some areas are restricted near Loch Lomond, which is right here. From what I can tell, most people we were crossing paths with were either doing all B&Bs and inns because they didn't bring any camping gear, or they were doing a mix of all 3. We never wild camped just because I love having a bathroom, and I'm just not ready to give that up just yet for a night. But we did switch between inns and campgrounds, especially when a lot of the inns were upwards of 250 pounds just because there's such limited availability. We realized that campgrounds are actually really convenient in those types of situations. Anyways, I know what you're thinking when I bring up that we're sleeping in a tent. If you're thinking that traveling to sleep in a tent sounds like the most unluxurious thing you've ever heard of, I agree with you. But when you pay $30 while people sleeping at an inn 100 feet from you are paying over $250, you'll maybe feel a bit more comfortable in that tent of yours. I know good gear is an investment in itself, but once you have it, you'll be surprised at how comfortable it actually can be. Plus, I want to make full-time travel work for as long as possible, so the more I can save, the better. So I'm happy to be sleeping in my warm and dry and cozy little home. back to how bad the hike was, because at this point I was starting to feel not so good. I didn't know when it was going to end, and I just needed a break. But the hike was supposed to be only 4 miles, but somehow it turned into 7. I don't think we made any wrong turns, so I still don't know like what went wrong. But I just want to preface that I do consider myself a beginner hiker, and I did mention it in the last video, but I didn't prepare really at all for this hiking trip, which I know is totally on me. But I have hiked before. Like, I hiked Ben Nevis. I also hiked Guadalupe Peak in Texas this past March. I've done many hikes all over the states, but what I've never done is hike back-to-back days that were really long with a pack. Also, thinking back on it, I probably didn't eat or drink enough water. And that, combined with the fact that my sleep wasn't that great, resulted in me just having a bad hike. So now I know that preparation is not only in the months before you leave, but also when you get done with your hike, sleeping the morning of, during the hike. It's just about taking care of yourself. So yeah, here I did not feel good. I just had to rest for, I think it was like 30 minutes. I was sitting there just in disbelief as to how I was feeling and how hard this was. But we did eventually make it to our inn, where we ate lunch and got cleaned up, and we just laid in bed thinking about how we seriously underestimated this hike before I finally made a decision. I do have a bit of a confession to make, and that is that I'm very sore, and today was very difficult for me, like way more difficult than I thought it would be. And I'm really concerned because tomorrow has, the terrain is pretty much exactly the same, but it's like triple the mileage. So I'm here and I'm worried about tomorrow. I have decided to just jump ahead, taking the ferry across the lake and then taking a bus to our next town that we're gonna meet up in. Ben is gonna do the 19-mile hike, and he says he feels good. I'm just sore with my feet and my calves. You know, this is my first through hike kind of situation, and I just want to play it like very easy. And not gonna lie, like 19 miles in a day sounds like very daunting. I just wanted to clarify, it's actually 14 miles, not 19 miles, but that still sounded like a really daunting number to me, and it doesn't change my decision to skip the leg. So I am going to take the scenic route, gonna ride a boat and take a bus to our next campground, and I'll be waiting for Ben. So there you have it. We decided we aren't giving up completely yet, but we are resting when our bodies need to. And I couldn't be upset about the decision for too long, because look at this amazing view from our hotel window. It definitely made me feel better about not having the best day on the trail today, because I'm just overall so grateful to be here and to be traveling. And I have to keep reminding myself that I'm living my dream right now. I just need to prioritize taking care of my body. So after all of this, we ate some dinner and got some rest. We'll mostly be staying at campsites after this, so we just wanted to soak in the luxury and get a good night's sleep for our exciting day in Less tomorrow. See you then. Bye!